Just say a year. And I'm only saying from a physical standpoint.
You're saying from a pure talent.
Kyrie is the best point guard the Celtics have ever had. I'm not kicking at anybody with anything else. But when you're talking about the ability to handle, shoot the basketball, play, he is the best. He is maybe one of the best players in the league, the best player in the league below the rim.
Below the rim is key.
Below the rim.
He's also the best player the Celtics ever had to waste all their talent, because the Celtics had the most talented team in probably 10 years, 2 seasons ago, and he was not a unifier. He was a separator.
That's true. That happened.
Wasted talent, and I'll accept that.
But that happened, but don't excuse other people. That's what you're doing. You're excusing other people. Because
it starts with the leader, Max. You know.
No, that's right. It starts with the leaders. One of the leaders of that team at that time was Al. Al Horford was one of the.
You're going at me today.
Al happened to be one of the, and Al said that later on. Al came back and made a comment late in the year against Kyrie and all these. Hey guys, Emmett, let's bring it together. Al should have said that in the beginning of the year.
He's admitted that.
So let's not excuse this, say, oh my God, it was all Kyrie's fault. It was a bunch of people's fault. Because one, I think you look at the entire organization, and I think that what they did, they were enablers when it came to Kyrie.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
And because you are an enabler, that doesn't take you away from, what went on. And I think this organization looks back on it, Danny said it. Brad, whoever it is, you can't allow that to fester, because if it festers, it gets to your other teammates and goes from there. You have to do it like immediately. Like you put out a fire, you better put it out quick, because
I think he was the uncontrollable kid, though. I don't think he could. He sucked all the air out of the room.
Look, here's the thing. You never saw anybody try to do that. Brad? No. So nobody ever really tried to do that. Everybody let Kyrie be Kyrie. Even myself as a broadcaster. Mm-hmm. There were times Kyrie just blew us off, and I've had a great relationship with everybody. There were times we wanted Kyrie on the air after a game, and the press guy would go up and say, Kyrie, they want you on radio. You can see Kyrie going, fuck that, I'm not doing that.
Really?
Yeah.
You never told me that. I'm not surprised. I heard a couple, I think 2 or 3 times I heard, and I'll tell you.
So I think that.
It was not the best interviews you guys have done. It was always very tense, but he's hard.
No, matter of fact, it was one of the best.
One of them was good.
One of the best interviews I had. I asked Kyrie a question that still resonates today with me. It's when I was telling Sean, I said, I asked Kyrie a question. And he said, a question he's never heard before. And, Sean was, you don't have a question he's never heard before. I said, yeah, I do. I said, Kyrie, what was it like the first time you beat your brother?
That was a good one, because he lit up.
And Kyrie lit that up. He thought about it. He was excited. If you want to go back and hear it, I want you to go back and get that.
I heard that. That was a great interview.
Go back and get that question I asked Kyrie.
I'll put it in here if I could.
He was so excited about, I played my father. And he said the first time, he said, I felt like I won the championship. He said, my dad told me at that time, he said, Kai, if you beat me, then you can't let up on anybody else. And it was just an amazing interview. But that was the only one essential. Maybe we did 2 or 3 more.
No, I think he did 3. And that one was very good.
But I'm just saying, even then, I didn't come to Kyrie and say, Kyrie, why don't you do an interview with us? Whereas I would said that about anybody else. So
what do you mean? Like you would have just approached Paul and said, come on after the game.
I was as much as an enabler as everybody else in this organization.
He was unapproachable. And here's the thing, Max, very, very, and this is sincere. In my mind, he is probably one of the more tragic stories, because maybe not tragic, it's sad stories, because he is either so charismatic and compelling, and you want to be around him when he's on the upside.
Mm-hmm.
Man, when he's down, I mean, he is tension beyond belief. It's so uncomfortable. He makes everybody around him uncomfortable.
Well,
And
it's just really, Nick, you're right in that sense. I think that everybody, and I'm not sure if it's uncomfortable, but I think I equated to this. It's like when Kyrie Irving was in the room, it's like everybody was walking on eggshells.
Oh yeah.
The thing about Kyrie Irving, nobody knows. I don't have a personal relationship with him. I never broke bread, but I know one thing as an organization, and this is when I will put myself in the we as an organization. I think that we were all enablers when it came to Kyrie, and that did not benefit. And I think that most teams have been like that he's been on. When he's with Cleveland, you hear the same things, that there were weeks he would go by and not speak to any of his teammates.
Oh my God, the whole playoff run when
and there was a week when I heard, there was a week that I heard that, that I talked to one of the assistant coaches with the Celtics and said Kyrie Irving got on the elevator with him, never said a word. Going up 50 stories right now, never 50 floors, never said a word to him.
I don't, it's just an interesting breed of people. But listen, he's an extraordinary talent. He is, like I said, when he's up, he's up. He's on that note, Max, it's always a pleasure walking down history lane and getting a little bashing on Kyrie. I agree with you, by the way. I think he would be Kyrie. There's very few players today who have that fire that you see in Michael Jordan's eyes every Sunday recently. And Kyrie is one of them. I definitely
when Kyrie is right.
He is
right. Kyrie is right. Kyrie is a bitch. That's all I say about that. It's not. I've seen a lot of players come through here. I've seen a lot of players play, but when Kyrie is right,
nobody.
I know Perk and I talked about that on my podcast. And Perk said, "For Rondo," I said, "No."
Yeah, how does Rondo even get brought up?
Rondo was great at controlling the flow of the game, but Kyrie when he was right offensively, there's very few people that could touch Kyrie Irving.
One thing you and Perk missed about Rondo, he's one of the best rebounding point guards I've ever seen.
There's no doubt.
Great rebound with those big hands.
For his size, there's no question about it.
He's too smart for his own good. Maybe the same, I think, well, let's stop there. Nothing good's going to come when we start talking about people's brains.